What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a new YouTube video. And finally we are here at Equipped Nationals. Trained so hard past few months, and finally it is time to step on stage and show that we work. Now the competition itself is very well managed, very well organized, but it unfortunately did not start out too well. As you can see on the screen, you might be wondering, why am I showing how the plate loaders, and by the way, huge thanks to the plate loaders, they have done a tremendous job during the weekend protecting and helping and making everything possible for the athletes. So big shout out to those helpers that do this in their free time voluntarily. Great to see, and without them the powerlifting sport wouldn't be as it is now. But back to the topic, why I'm showing the loading. Before my first attempt, the person before me actually did not manage to squat and fell forward, and hence he threw off the weight. So it was a bit stressful, and I was also standing there for quite a while being wrapped, and this really led to my thighs being completely numb, and I barely felt anything in this moment when I went under the bar, and so this squat was a bit difficult.
Knie raus! Komm raus, die Knie, setz rein!
As you can see, it was very hard for me for some reason to get down, and my knees were not getting pushed out equally as much, and hence the squat itself looked very wobbly, unfortunately. Even though the weight itself didn't pose an issue, the depth did, and this is also paired with very strict judges on that day. So let's try this again, and we went out again with 340 kilos, hopefully getting a better result.
Knie raus! Komm, setz rein! Komm!
And once again, you see the spotters did a great job. Honestly, I fell forward with the weight. I would have fallen into the rack and probably down. And there was also some mishappening in the beginning of the squat. I heard something in my back pop right before I wanted to squat. That's why I let out this weird scream, which led to me also shifting forward and backwards. It was just absolutely not a good day at this point, and we were not in the competition. So we decided to go up 5 kilos to be and have a chance in this competition, and hopefully get it a bit deeper to the liking of the judges. This was a do or die try, and we had to do it.
Mit Unterstützung aus der Halle!
Auf geht's, Andi! Let's go! Hast du. Come on. You got this.
The emotions were definitely high during this moment, but we successfully got the squat. It was the ugliest squat that I have ever done, it feels like. It was crooked as hell, but at least the bar path was somewhat okay, and you can really see that the strength was there. It was just the technique was all over this place on this day, and also the judges made it very hard to gain confidence by red lighting almost everyone. There was people bombing out left and right in this competition. It was very hard to get attempts in. So with 1 out of 3, we were going into bench, and we were keeping it very, very safe. 225, the same attempt as during the comp 1 month ago, where we just hit 1 attempt for my opener, because I know I will always have this one. Luckily, we did get the first attempt in 3 wides. What can you wish for more? But there was already an issue there. You could see that I had trouble for my lockout in the bench, and this was posing a tremendous challenge because the lockout is really what I trained for with the raw board presses all the time. Unfortunately, I did have trouble with my shoulder, especially my elbows in the past few weeks, and hence I was not able to train with the shirt properly, and this was about to show. As much as I hate to say it, in this second attempt, it dawned on me that the 240 jump was a bit too much on this day. And you might ask, well, why did you jump to 15 kilos to 240 if your first attempt was already not that great? Well, it's because we put on a belt, and if you put on a belt, it is usually way harder because the shirt then doesn't move anymore, and you really need more weight to get down with a equipped shirt. And as you can see, unfortunately, my third attempt was also not good enough. And maybe the spotters on the right hooked the weight a little bit too fast, but I think problem was still I was not feeling it. My triceps weren't working, my chest was feeling weak, and it might also have been a outcome of a little water cut that I had to make in order to get under 120, even though before I was training all the time at just above 120, I still had to make weight, and so I did a small water cut which may have led to these consequences.
Easy!
Having just gotten 2 out of 7 attempts, honestly. It was not great going into deadlifts. However, my first deadlifts, they went very smoothly, very easy, and apparently the slight changes we started implementing just 3 weeks ago paid out, and I was on track to fighting for a podium position. At that time, I was roughly 10 kilos behind the first and 22 kilos behind the second. For my second attempt, I jumped 15 kilos to 305 kilos. As you could see, the second deadlift, sorry, was good enough, and we got it in 3 white lights. And what I want to say here is that you should pay close attention to how I locked it out and how I was standing there going into the third. I got a little bit of a decreased velocity at the top there for the lockout, so it was not a speedy lockout, but still it was moving and I locked it out. And now take a close look at what happened in the third pull, and this pull was for the podium position because now it was only 7.5 kilos behind third place. My commentator, aka my girlfriend as well as I, pretty disappointed. My coach also told me he could not understand how this was 3 red lights. If we see it again in the slow-mo, you could really see that I leaned back quite a bit and tried to honestly finish the lift. And in my eyes, there was also no downward movement to be found, or there shouldn't have been a downward movement. I thought that was a clean lift, but unfortunately my thoughts do not count. And overall, it is not the fault of the referees on that day that I was not able to display more of the strength I worked for, but rather it was my own fault for not being consequent with each lift and having an optimal preparation for each lift. And this was of course frustrating, but there's only one way I can make this right, and that is to come back stronger after surgery, to rehab well, and most importantly also to get my raw strength up to greater levels than now. This was it, guys. Really appreciate you watching. With that being said, I wish you all the love, all the power. Have a good one.